What's up, friends? John here with Go Health Yourself at the 4:30 talk time, live talk time. Going to be doing it every Wednesday and Friday, and I'm gonna give people a minute or two to join here. So um, bear with me. But it's a beautiful day in Connecticut. It's I don't know what the temperature is. I think it's like 75 degrees. It's always beautiful up here in the Northeast around fall time. It's still summer, but about three quarters of the way through the month of September is when fall starts to hit. So, but beautiful weather. I love when we get what's called an Indian summer when it's actually really warm in the fall. So I like that a lot. But all right, well, no one has joined yet, but today I'm going to talk briefly about independence and being independent. I had someone ask me, how do I live alone? And of course, I need help in the morning and at night a little bit, but most of the day, yes, I am alone. And you gotta improvise. It's improvisation, if that's even how you say it, is super important. And like for instance, for water, of course, the drinking water here isn't good. I mentioned that in the last live or the live before that. So I have a separate dispenser, but that also helps me be independent with drinking water. So all the videos or all the topics that I talk about, I have a lot of videos on, like the independence videos. So I'll link those down in the description. But the water, I have a separate dispenser and I keep my cup right under it and I just dispense it that way. Makes it super easy. I'm going to make another video on that because I actually changed how it works. But that makes it so I can get water all day. And of course, I always mention it, water is important. But, and then to drink, I just use straws. I literally just keep the glass right on the table and I just use straws. I don't even pick up the glass. I just lean over and sip it that way. So that's how I drink. They ask me how I drink. And then things like my legs falling off my chair. One big reason I got in a manual chair is so I could get stronger and get more balance. And so of course, sometimes my legs will fall off the foot plate, but because I've um, gained a lot of physical strength and a lot of movement, I'm able to put my feet back on the foot plate. So it's all about just getting stronger and, physically, mentally, just working out and, yeah, just getting stronger in every aspect. Yeah, so I think independence is super important. If you have an inkling that you can do something, you think you may be able to do it, you probably could do it. Don't give up the first time. Of course, a lot of things don't work the first time, so you just got to keep trying. Failure is a part of the process, and a lot of people are afraid of failure. They think that it's a bad thing, but it's literally how you learn. So don't be afraid to fail and just keep going. Hey, what's up, Mason? Thanks for joining, bro. Oh yeah, thanks again for that 10% off Active Hands. That was pretty awesome. I really appreciate that. So yeah, and like I'm still amazed at like how much you actually lose with not having hand function. It's crazy how much we use our hands and we don't even realize it. Like it's so many things. I was absolutely amazed at how many things I couldn't do because my fingers don't work. So that's another thing. You can't dwell on what doesn't work. You got to really focus on what does work. So it does stuff doesn't happen overnight. It took me over a year to learn how to transfer out of the chair. It took me over a year to learn how to write again like I used to. That's something that's pretty awesome, though. It's pretty amazing to be able to write with no finger function. Something I didn't think I could do. I got the idea when I started to draw after I got injured and got pretty good at it. I'm like, wait, I think I'm pretty sure I can write. So that's a perfect example of having an inkling to do something and just keep practicing at it. So I'm looking at my notes here. And sometimes that you like where you live, like my apartment, I'm really not allowed to modify anything, even though I do most of the time. But I'm really the big things like I when I have the chance, I'm gonna modify my home and have like a ceiling lift and stuff like that, so I can do more for myself. So yeah, if you can do more for yourself, do it. It's about mental health and about independence, and it just about keeping busy and getting better every day. That's something that's super important to just get better every single day, no matter what it is. And even if it's like a little tiny step, as long as you're better than yesterday, that's all that matters. It could be something very small. And then, of course, you can see I have my Apple Watch. So if something does happen where I fall out of my chair completely, they make the Apple Watch with a cellular capability, and you can just call anybody to come help you. So that's a big help to have. Either like Lifeline, they make Lifeline where you have like a button you can press, and you may need it one day, or just get an Apple Watch with a cellular capability. But that's like at night, you know. I put my watch on and I have my phone next to me just in case my phone falls off the bed. I'm able to call with my watch, and that makes it really makes it safer for you if you are alone at night, which I am the whole night. So in the beginning, it was kind of nerve wracking, but over time, you get used to it like anything else. So yeah, so the weather next week is going to be really warm, which is pretty cool for the fall. But I wanted to talk a little bit about beach access and what's up, Quad Trials and Theories. Thanks for joining, bro. I appreciate it. Um, and so there we live. I mentioned that I live in Connecticut, which is not far from New York City, which I mentioned before, and also it's not far from the coast, from the ocean. So it's like an hour drive to the ocean, which is awesome. And there's a few accessible beaches, and one beach that I go to is Ocean Beach. I'm actually, I mentioned this because I'm going Monday, but I'm make a video about it. And when they have a boardwalk at the top of the beach, it makes everything so much easier. And of course, a wheelchair can't go on sand. So, and they do make a adaptive device that's kind of like it has tracks, and you need to have a manual chair, but you roll on top of it and you can actually go on the sand. But that's a pretty cool device. I'll link that device in the description below as well. But and then they also make like these blue, I don't know what you would call them. They're like blue pathways that they run from the top of the beach to the water, and sometimes they'll have those at the ocean. I haven't seen. I saw one in Connecticut, but I haven't seen any at the beaches that I usually go to. But if you got a boardwalk at the top of the beach and it makes it easy. You can move back and forth. And most beaches also offer a free, like beach going chair that has the inflatable tires, but I don't like those because you can't move it yourself. And if you want to move anywhere, you have to ask someone to move it, which, in my situation, I ask people stuff enough. So I don't want to keep, oh, Freedom Tracks. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called. Yep. So that thing's freaking awesome. But eventually, I'd like to get one of those too because I do plan on moving to Florida, and it would be awesome to be able to just go on the beach whenever. Um, and then when you're at the beach, if you don't know this, definitely bring a spray bottle. If you do have a spinal cord injury, of course, you're probably watching this, you do. But if you can't sweat, having a spray bottle can make it so you can cool down because you can get pretty hot pretty quick when you don't sweat. It's amazing how fast you can get hot without sweating. And then I usually bring an umbrella and, of course, water to stay hydrated, which is important in an environment like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna make when I go on Monday, I'm gonna make a video just like the whole scenery there and how I get on the boardwalk and all that. So it's definitely a relaxing place. I love going to the beach. And when I got injured, I was in Florida, so I don't know too much about the access in Florida. But when I do go back down there, of course, I'll 100% still be doing this channel. So I'll show the access down there, and of course, Florida is full of beaches. So um, And then another thing about accessibility is having a smartphone. It's right now in the day and age where we have the devices, so they're really easy to use, even if you don't have finger function, and that helps with so much. It's kind of a plus that we live in a time where we have those devices. So, um, yeah, that's trying to looking at my notes here, see if there's anything else that I wanted to mention. I think it's pretty much everything. Like you're gonna have to modify something um, one time or another. Like the Bowflex I did behind me, it was a normal weight bench or a normal lifting machine, and I had to take away the bench and stuff like that, and add some pieces to lock the chair into place. I'll put one of those videos in the description below. But yeah, you're gonna have to modify something or use some kind of accessible device in some situations. So that's one of my main goals is independence. Like um, it's very important to be independent, I think. And yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna talk about today. It's getting a little bit easier to do this this live, so that's good. And yeah, any questions you guys have, feel free to ask. Really appreciate you joining. Thanks for joining, Mason. Thanks for joining Quad Trials and Theories. I don't know your name, but thank you for joining. I appreciate it. And as always, friends, stay strong, stay active, stay creative, and go help yourself. Over and out. Adios.